I want to thank the Fayette County Republican Party leaders for inviting me here to speak today. And I guess I said he was, giving information, people ask for you to send the bio and then you get up and then they tell everything. It's like, well, what am I going to say? When I get up there. But I am very happy to be here to share with you my heart for the position of Lieutenant Governor of Georgia. Was that a clap or was that somebody just moving something around? Thank you. So first I will talk about my roots here in Georgia. So my family is from Cartersville, Georgia, Rideau, Georgia. And recently I called my aunt to ask her to share with me more information about our family history here in Georgia. And so she said that up in Cartersville that my family, my aunt, my grandfather, they were sharecroppers in Cartersville. And so she said that they would get up at around 4 a.m. in the morning and pick crops. They were sharing the land with the farmer. They did not own the farm. They didn't own any of the land. She said by the end of the day, around 9 p.m., they would go back home to a shack. No windows. And she said there weren't many activities or anything for them to do. And so we were having this conversation and I was just learning. And I told her, I said, well, guess what? I told her, I said, I am running for Lieutenant Governor of Georgia. So we have gone from sharecroppers with no land, no house, and I live on a land, I have over 2 acres, and I have a 3-story home with lots of windows. And so I told her, we have come a very long way. And I'm proud of Georgia, the progress of Georgia, and for standing here today. So I want to share the foundation of my campaign. My campaign stands on the most important thing that Georgia needs today, and that is unity. And you will hear that from me over and over again as I speak around Georgia, because we need unity here in Georgia. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. So one of the greatest organizations in the world taught me and trained me and gave me the experience of learning how to walk in unity in order to ensure that we are walking in freedom on a daily basis. And that organization is the United States military. Yeah. So I served my country in the United States Army, and yes, I went to Iraq in 2003. So that is when the war started. So we actually left on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2003. And the war started in March. So I was there during the war. And we drove into Iraq. I'll never forget when we drove into Iraq, because the water, we had bottled water and it was boiling. And I had to drink hot water on the way to Iraq. But so that's one of the reasons why when you see, service members and veterans, you say thank you for your service. Because of what we have to do in the military to ensure that our country is free. But what better way to learn how to walk in unity and bring unity to Georgia? I also served in the Georgia Army National Guard, so I enlisted a second time. I did 4 years in the regular Army and served in Iraq. And after that, I wanted to serve Georgia specifically. And so I then enlisted into the Georgia Army National Guard. And then Hurricane Katrina came. So then I supported Hurricane Katrina as well. So probably, you know, you have the war and one of the biggest disasters that we've had. And I say that I have the opportunity to serve and to live after both of those, and to stand before you today to continue to serve Georgia. So I'm also a state appointed public officer. Governor Kemp appointed me in 2019 to the State Board for Veterans. And so I've been serving in that position for the past 6 years. Governor Kemp appointed me for a 7-year term. And so next year, that term will be up. And so I'm looking to continue to serve our state by you all electing me as your next lieutenant governor. So as I speak about unity, when I look at the Georgia General Assembly now, and if you go up to the Capitol and you look at our lawmakers, and if you look on both sides, you look at all of our Republican lawmakers, and if you look at all of our Democrat lawmakers, when you look on the Republican side and you look at the Republican Party and all of the communities that are represented in the Republican Party, and then you look at our Republican lawmakers, right now it doesn't match. There are 0 Black Republican lawmakers in Georgia. 0. We have none. We have none. We have 0. And, you know, back when Republicans first came into office, they were black males. And now we have more white male Republicans in the Georgia General Assembly. That's before construction and after construction. There has never been a black female Republican before construction or after construction ever. And it's about perspective. It's not about race or anything like that, but it's about perspective. It's about the experience that I have gained. It's about the skills and the intellect that I can bring to the Georgia General Assembly, and being able to be a voice for communities within the Republican Party that have never had a voice in the Atlanta Capitol. And so I believe that it's time for us to, when we have a candidate and a true Republican candidate, I have never switched over. I've never been a Democrat. I have always been a Republican. So in voting for Republicans, we need to look at our Republican Party, and we need to make sure that the lawmakers in the Georgia General Assembly represent the Republicans within our party. And so that is one of the reasons that I'm standing here today, to bring unity, to be a voice for communities within the Republican Party who do not currently have a voice or who have never had a voice. And so it is very important to me to win this race. It's not just about winning, but this is about unity. I walk into rooms where I'm the only Republican, and I have no problem with that because I need to learn what's going on the other side. How can I, in the future, do a debate if I have no idea what's going on with that candidate, with that Democrat candidate? How can I serve those who are Democrats? You know, the lieutenant governor is serving the entire state. And how can I serve them if I don't know what their needs are? And so the other day, there was a forum for the Democrat candidates, the governor and lieutenant governor candidates. And I walked into the room, and I know I was the only Republican in there. And I sat down and I listened. And I had the opportunity to learn the strategies of the lieutenant governor Democrat candidates and the governor, the Democrat candidates that are running for governor. And I sat there for almost to the end, almost to the end. And even when they said, anyone running for, any candidates in here running for office, please stand, and I stood. Now, I wasn't their candidate, but I stood. I'm a candidate. And so, but the information that I learned the personalities of the lieutenant governor candidates, the Democrat lieutenant governor candidates. And the things that, they were talking about, Republicans, and they talked about, one of them is actually a senator, Democrat senator, and he talked about how he will get close to his Republican colleagues just to be able to get enough information so he can do what he needs to do. So I sat there and I said, well, thank you for sharing with me your strategy. So now I know when you smile and hug me, you don't mean it. You don't really mean it. And so, but it was really good information. And again, I don't have a problem walking into these rooms because there's a lot of stereotypical things going on. A lot of times when I walk into the room, as long as I don't start talking, because when I start talking, people know I'm Republican. But as long as I don't start talking, when I walk in, because I'm African American, people will think that I'm Democrat. And so that gives me the opportunity to learn and find out what is going on the other side. And I have been doing this for years. This is my second run. I also ran in 2018. That's actually how I met Governor Kemp. He was running for governor, and I was running for state house. And so it was during that time where I had begun to walk into those rooms. I was receiving, invitations at churches and things like that. And it was in places where they were all Democrats. And but I went. And even as a Republican candidate, if I get an invitation to the other side, I'm going. I'm going. And I'm going to learn. I'm going to take in all that information. Like I said, I'm never switching to any side. And trust me, when I first ran, the people were asking me to come to the other side. And I said no. And this is why. When I was called, and I said called into this, and I really was called by God to coming to the political realm. I was standing in my library. I have a library in my house. I was standing in the library, and it seemed audible, like, you need to run for office. I had never thought about running for office. I didn't know anything. I knew zero. But that's what God does. He'll bring in someone who knows nothing about a subject so that he can reign in that person's life when he's doing something. And so I sat down in my library and I began to research. Am I qualified? I mean, I knew nothing. Am I qualified? How do you run for office? What could I even run for? And so I sat down, I did this research, and I read and I read and I read. And then I realized I have to choose a party. I have to choose a party. And so I went all the way back to the beginning. When did the Democratic Party start? When did the Republican Party start? And as I was searching and I went back, I saw that there was only it's like the Republican Party disappeared, and it just took me all the way to the Democratic Party. So then I realized, at one time, there was only the Democratic Party. There was no Republican Party. And so when I read, I realized that the Democratic Party was formed in, to me, a foundation of bondage. And when the Republican Party came along, it was because it was time for us to bring unity and freedom into America. And that is the foundation of the Republican Party. So it was a no-brainer for me to choose the Republican Party. And that is where I stand today. Yes. And so he is creeping up beside me. And that means
I'm going to try to get the piss can.
and that means it's time for me to go. But I would like to thank each and every one of you for listening to me today. Oh, okay. Answer. Okay, for listening to me today. And if anyone has any questions or comments, please, this is the time. Yes.
Is your name Swan?
Swan like the bird.
Swan 007 Swan?
I have to add that. I'll add that to it. Yes.
Can you do anything about election integrity? I've been very dismayed with our present lieutenant governor. And I mean, we're just crying out for our own vote. We don't want illegals to vote. We don't want other people to vote in our stead. We want our vote to count for one, not for others. And I want to know your stance on election integrity. That means a lot. Who does that mean a lot to in this room? We all want our vote to count.
Yes. Let me ask you one question. You said that currently you've been dissatisfied with what you've seen currently from the lieutenant governor. What are you dissatisfied about?
Well, all the ones back, but I just Herb Jones has done a good job. But
she's talking about Jeff Duncan.
Yeah.
The guy.
Oh, Jeff Duncan.
Jeff Duncan. Yeah. Jeff Duncan.
Mr. CNN.
Thank you.
Yeah. Of course, I am on one accord with election integrity. During that time when I was, looking at everything and, the people wanted, special sessions and different things like that for us to take a look at everything that was going on. And I think that that is what needs to happen. I listen to the people, right? I walk into the rooms, and this is not just for campaigning. Even after, this is who I am, this is what I do. I walk into the rooms and you ask me questions, we dialogue, and I find out specifically what is it that you feel like needs to happen. What would you like to see? You know what I'm saying? And different things like that. And so that's a conversation that I would like to have on the specific things that you would actually like to see when it comes to election integrity. Yes?
I can give you two things specifically. One, clean up the voter rolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
The second thing is we need 5-person election boards.
Election boards.
We need 5-person election boards statewide so that they can govern the operations better. And then we clean up the voter rolls is a mess.
Now, when you say election boards, because we have election boards.
This is county.
County board.
Okay.
Election board.
Okay.
Jessica.
Yes.
You mentioned being a voice for Republicans that haven't been heard.
Yes.
In your opinion, who are those people that you feel haven't been heard?
Well, like I said before, when it comes to the representation of the Republican Party, when it comes to lawmakers, right now, like I said, there are no black lawmakers on the Republican side. In Georgia, every black lawmaker is a Democrat. That's very lopsided. That means that the black conservative community is not being represented within the Republican Party in Georgia, in the entire state. So different communities, that could be the black community. I don't think we have any Indian Americans. We have an Asian. I think we have 2 Latinos. We have mainly white males, and we have white females. But it's just the Republican Party, the lawmakers need to represent Georgia, right? Because we all grow up in different communities. There's different things that affect us, different things that we need, and we need a voice for all of those communities. So when we gather together and we talk, we have conversation, the laws are as fair as they can be for all conservatives. We need to work on that when it comes to conservatives in Georgia.
Last
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Swan, I think what Jessica was trying to say is that we as Republicans are not as concerned about race, religion, sex. What we are concerned with is the values of the Republican Party, which keep God number one,
Yes.
then our families and our country, and you can switch those any way you want to.
Mhm.
So I appreciate your wanting to represent a segment of the Republican Party, but as Republicans, God first, and then we as Republicans come next.
Yes. I'm not here to represent one segment of the Republican Party. I'm here to represent the Republican Party, period. And so that's not the case when it comes to me. But we do, every community within the Republican Party, we all do need a voice. And so that is my response when it comes to unity. But when it comes to race and religion and all of those things, that is not a priority. The priority is that we all come together in unity, in that order, and make sure that we all have a voice, and also make sure that the conservatives and the Republicans within Georgia are being represented properly when it comes to the laws that are being made within our great state. Thank you.